In lesson 9.1, we learned to simplify rational expressions. Today, we're jumping to multiplying rational expressions. We don't do an addition and subtraction first because this is the next simplest thing to do after we learn to simplify. The reason we can do that is because when we multiply fractions, all we do is multiply the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. And so it's going to be set up like simplifying fractions. We can just cancel things, common factors in the numerator and in the denominator. So we're going to start off here. We're going to factor what's in our numerator and what's in our denominator. So this first one we can factor out a 5 in the numerator, so that will leave us with x squared minus x minus 20. In this first denominator, we can factor out a 3. That leaves us with x squared plus 2x minus 8. And then in the second fraction, we can factor out a 3. That leaves us with x minus 2. And the denominator can't be factored, it's just 3 times x. We can continue to factor this first fraction, these trinomials. This first one, we want factors of 20 that subtract to equal -1. Well, an x minus 5 and an x plus 4 will give us that. In the denominator, we want factors of 8 that will subtract to give us -2 or +2. Factors of 8 that give us 2. So we can have an x plus 4 and an x minus 2. We have our second fraction here. And then we look for things to reduce. Again, we can reduce anything from either numerator with the denominator. So we have x plus 4 reduces with x plus 4. This x minus 2 with x minus 2. Here we have a 3, cancels with a 3. And then we can find our answer. I think that's everything that simplifies. So in the numerator, we're left with 5 times x minus 5. In the denominator, we're left with just a 3x. And that is simplified. Here we have our second example. These are just monomials in each part of the fractions. And so here we can just simplify. We'll start by simplifying the constants. So with the 8 and the 2, we see they can reduce. So 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 2 once. And then 5 goes into 5 once. And 5 goes into 25 5 times. I'm going to go ahead and work with this a little bit. This is a 4 times 5 in the numerator, so we have 20. And then I'm going to combine my like variables here. We'll have an a to the 5th, a b, and c cubed, x. In the denominator, our 1 times 1 is just 1, so we have an a to the 5th, b, c to the 4th, xy. I wrote it that way because now it's going to be easier to simplify. We still have our 20 in the numerator. A to the 5th and a to the 5th reduce to be 1. B and b reduce. C to the 4th and c cubed, well, this one will be gone and we'll just be left with a c to the 1st. And then x cancels with x. And now we can see what we have left here. I already wrote the 20. We have 20 in the numerator, and cy is left in the denominator.